All right, so anybody want to go?
Go.
Yes, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your staying.
Yeah, yes. What was about this character,
Dr. Jonas
Jonas that got your attention to be part of this series?
So I was offered a guest role in this TV show. I was just coming out from the UK, and then with the possible recurring, and I shot that, and then it just so happened that they asked me to come and join full time. So it wasn't that I was looking for this project, it just so happened very fortuitously that I got this. But in saying that, what interests me about the character, I love, the more I play Jonas Lear, the more I think about him. I love his, initially I thought his motivation for doing what he did about going to find the cure was just love-based, trying to save his wife and all noble and trying to save the human race, and then enlisting the help of his friend Tim Fanning. But the more I think about it, I think there was a lot of ego from Lear, about knowing his place in history. Had he cured all diseases, he must have been aware what the repercussions of that would have been for him. Of course, he would have saved his wife, and that would have been good. But I think his ego probably got in the way, and I think after that happened, he must be playing the what if game. What if I hadn't done that? And so his guilt must be through the roof every day, thinking, do I kill Fanning? Do I stop experimenting on Fanning? Do I stop these experiments? Do I say this is morally illegal, possibly legal? But no, he keeps on with the experiments, and why does he do that? And I found all of that, it makes it for an interesting character to play.
What's the biggest difference between working on this show and opposed to like a Lost that you've done before? And what do you see different like that?
One of the differences, I know where my end point in this character is. With Lost and Emily. You know what I mean.
We still don't.
Hey. But that's good training, when you have to. But there is, that the similarities are that the writing is so good. You trust the writers to guide you, just play the scene. You have your super objective, your objective, and you just play the scene for what it is. So that's really cool. The differences are, as I said, source material, and I guess we're still in the realms of fantastical, but I think Noah is more. The passage is more grounded in reality. Project Noah could exist. Things like that could happen. Everything so far, could be real. Whereas I think Lost was a little bit more fantastical.
Have you read the books? And if so, how satisfied are you with the current adaptation that this season has brought us?
Yeah, so I have. I haven't read them all. I read the first one and tapped into the third one. I think it's great. I actually, I'm a big fan of the show, and I think what the writers have done very cleverly is they've added the backstory, the flashbacks. So you get more invested in the characters, you get to know a lot more about them, and they've changed certain things. So you, for example, the genders, the races on a few characters, and my wife was dying of cancer in the book, not Alzheimer's, but I think it's only enriched the present show. I don't think you need to have read the books to watch the show, or I don't think you will take away from your enjoyment if you've read the books and watched the show. You can do both. It is different, very slightly, but at the core, it's the same. This is a huge book, so it would be very difficult to make exactly what's on the page. But I think they do a great job. I'm very excited to see what they do for season 2.
This is on network television, and it is infectious diseases mixed with a little bit of the vampire, perhaps even zombie-esque, a little graphic. Nevertheless, I feel like it's not over gratuitous.
Yeah,
I think it will be the
that's
right.
Right. Yeah.
How do you feel about being the current member on this all-star team for this current lineup, given that particular not gore, because it's not gore necessarily, but is it different than from other things that you've done?
On the 100, that was a really bloody show. at any given opportunity, there'll be blood splattering the lens, and that's all actually CGI. This one is it's more in the intent of the camera, to frighten and it works really well with the slow zooms in and the slow movement of the camera and the sort of jump factor, so it's not, you're right, it's not gratuitous, but it is still spooky, but that's what's really cool about the show, that it's got so much, it's action, it's adventure, it's got heart, it's heartbreaking, and yes, the virals are scary when they need to be. For example, in the last episode 105, Winston was really quite scary, but it's not going to alienate anyone. I feel this is a show for everyone. It's not, because some people just don't like that, but I feel this is very inclusive in the way that they do it. They're very clever. I think it's
Any interesting fan mail? Oh, sorry.
Anyone to carry on?
Any interesting fan mail?
I haven't got
Yeah, while you're filming, like you guys have like room to improvisation, or you guys had to stick to the actual script?
There's room. I've been on, for example, Lost. There was no room. It was set exactly because it all tied into the next episode. This one, there's room to make it your own, and we have writers on set who you can talk to about certain things. I know Jamie, they've added, he said, what about if I say this? It's great having an executive. When Liz Heldon comes to set, many times she said, say this line instead. Okay, this time they say this line, So, and that's very freeing for an actor, she's to have somebody there who sees what's working, what's not, and to change it. I love that.
I love the way the show's bringing vampires kind of back to being scary again. And they use and I love the fact that they incorporate the mind control with the vampires as well. They're kind of messing with the people. Yeah. What is your opinion about how the vampires are portrayed? And what's your favorite vampire portrayal? Like in a previous film or book or anything?
The original Nosferatu with the two front teeth. That is, for me, the scariest ever.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. But I think crazy. Jamie McShane is kind of, reminds me of that, the teeth are different. But, I think that, Jamie does a great job, the way he switches from Fanning to, patient zero. I've forgotten what was the first part of your question.
What is your favorite portrayal prior to here
Was that Boris Karloff who played the original?
I think it was it predated. Actually, the movie I think was a silent film, and there's also Shadows of the Vampire, which was a film that was spoofing that
was
one.
Yes. I'm trying to think who played the original Nosferatu.
Because Boris was Frankenstein.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
A real vampire, according to Shadows of the Vampire.
So probably that one is probably the scariest.
Yeah.
And then vampires became very sexy. They became cool and beautiful, and because movie stars played them. But I like the way we've done our Winston and Fanning. Brienne's always going to look good. She's so it's kind of hard. But even she's scary. But yeah.
I can't ever pronounce the young lady's name correctly.
Sanaya.
Thank you.
Sanaya Sidney.
Thank you.
Plays Amy Belafonte.
Sanaya.
Phenomenal,
right?
Brilliant. I just watched 106. She's brilliant.
Oh, it's almost like you were watching a flower bloom before your eyes.
And you'll see, and you really will see, and that's a very good description. You'll see it bloom even more. I mean, it really is gonna, I just watched 106, and she gives a great performance. So I'm very excited for people to see. I'm excited to see where she ends up. I think, Anyway, I think she's terrific. Yeah, we all do. Yeah.
What we can expect without telling too much for the
next episode, for 106. You get to you learn more about Winston's on the run, so we have to do something about that. You get to know more about Amy Belafonte and what she can do, how she's going to be so special in the future, and her relationship with Brad is tested. You get to learn more about Dr. Sykes and her relationship with Babcock, and you get to learn a lot more about Fanning and Leah and Elizabeth. You know, what does Leah do about Elizabeth now that she's potentially going to be a viral? You know, that's a big choice for him, for her, and for Fanning.
Is this going off her questions? It's going off the script that you've read, or you've already seen the entire season?
No, I've seen 106, but I
Just
haven't
106,
seen,
okay.
I haven't seen the entire season.
How does this all work? Because Fox is delivering some cinematic stuff. I mean,
you're
like
absolutely right.
it's crazy, right? How does that? What is your opinion about that?
I think it's great. I think about time. You know, I think Jason Ensler is a real cinephile. He's got a great eye. He's a great director, and he's got he established the look for the show. And yeah, we are now you're now like a cable look, feel. You know, everything shot in prime lenses, the framing, and I think that's a testament to him, because TV is so fast. You have 8 days to shoot an episode, and if you want to have that look, you know, you're really challenging the crew to get that look. So it's a great testament to him that he pushed for that and stuck with it, and didn't eventually just, you know, shows start off looking great, and then as, you know, time you think, oh, we'll just do an over the shoulder, handheld, very little handheld, all, you know, composed shots. You know, it's really looks beautiful.
Is there research done as far as like finding stuff on this planet that actually will counter diseases that before, you know, have you discovered anything like that?
No, not.
Because we're introduced to the vampire virus, which is
Right.
kind of to cure diseases. Have you guys found, personally, have you discovered anything like that on the Earth?
No, that's a good question. I have not, but you know, Justin Cronin, I was talking to him, and he does trying to make